He is the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He does not do interviews like this very often, so we always appreciate it when he stops by the Rich Eisen Show, as he is about to do. Mike Tomlin back here on the program. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great, Rich. Always great to be on with you.
Right back at you. What is life like for you, for Mike Tomlin, middle of May? What's it like? What are you doing these days?
I'm working on my cardio.
Okay.
You know, I'm trying to.
Understood.
I'm on the other side of the draft, so we're out of the draft room, man. I'm trying to get in shape, while at the same time I'm getting an opportunity to kind of get the first looks at the beginnings of our football team. We've done a lot in free agency, and now that rookie minicamp is over, we have, essentially the team in here working, and so starting to get a sense of what that collective looks like.
Okay, so I'm mandated to ask, are we talking treadmill? Are we talking stationary bike? What do we talk about here? Mike,
Elliptical.
Elliptical. Okay, very good.
Elliptical.
And what are we, 20 minutes, 30 minutes? I'd love to know what your workout
I
is.
do 45 in the morning, and I try to do 20 or so at night.
Wow. Very impressive. You're leading by example, which you always do. I appreciate that. Is there a sit down that you have with the rookies, one-on-one or en masse, that you do every year to tell them about your program, the Steeler Way? Is there something you do every year with these guys, Coach?
Hey, you're not kidding, Rich, man. As a matter of fact, it's a program. It runs almost daily, days they're at work. Rookie life skills. It starts every day at 1 o'clock. It's a variety of things. Today is nutrition. Yesterday, it was social media savviness and community relations. Earlier this week, we had Clinton Portis in, talking to those guys about his story, gave them a lot of latitude. And so we do former players. We do specific things pertaining to being professional, money management. There's so much to talk about with these young people that we put it on the calendar. We chew off a little bit of it just about every day. And that will continue now for the next month or so.
Well, what do you say to them specifically, Coach?
I tee up all of the discussions, and so I try to bring professionals or experts in. I have perspective on money management because I've lived a little bit. I've made some good moves. I've made some bad. But more than anything, I tee it up. I talk to them about we have resources and relationships to help them. We bring them and connect them with experts that can educate them and assist them in ways they may need to be assisted. And so more than anything, I tee up the discussions or provide a little color or provide a legitimate story or two to let them know that the skills that we're working on are real. And if the issues haven't hit them in the face already, they will very soon. I do need to ask you, and whatever you're willing to share, I'd love to hear the whole setup you have to social media, Mike Tomlin. What do you say to these guys about that? Hey, Rich, it is getting much easier, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
10 years ago, man, the guys were less savvy. The platforms were more new. They didn't grow up with exposure to it, and so they would trip over themselves quite a bit. This generation of players, Twitter has been around since these guys were 8, 9 years old or whatever now, and so they're less apt to trip over some of the things that guys used to. More than anything, we talk to them about how to appropriately use it for their initiatives, whether it's expanding their brand, projects or things that they want to support and things of that nature. It's more educational in that way in terms of expanding its use, as opposed to where maybe the conversation 5-10 years ago was more do's and don'ts.
I love that. More do's than don'ts. But so do you say to them, no going live in the locker room? Do you say something like that?
See, that's what I mean. Years ago, man, that was a hot button topic,
yes.
Right? It was The platforms were new. There were no guidelines. There were no do's and don'ts in those areas. Those conversations are really not necessary anymore because of, time just provides clarity. And so, although everyone knows the story, I don't know that it's necessary to have formal discussions about that anymore. Anybody that's in those, marching in that territory these days probably is just not sharp enough to be with us.
Mike Tomlin here on the Rich Eisen Show, everybody. All right, so let's just jump into your quarterback here, Coach, and what you expect now from Kenny Pickett, year 2. It's his team, full control from jump. What do you expect here? What do you talk to him about?
I expect him to kill it, and I'll describe what I mean by that. It's his second lap around the track. He's no longer speculating in terms of what this business is about, what the job demands, what the challenges are, what the feel of the process is like, whether it's getting ready for a season or getting ready for a week. He has all of that experience. And so I just think it's reasonable for him to have significant growth in all areas with that understanding, to be more engaged in the process and to have an opinion about the process. To lead more comfortably in his own voice, because he has deeper relationships with his teammates. He's delivered for them some, and so credibility is there. And so it's reasonable to feel that comfort. I'm just looking for him to take a significant step in all areas because he's in position to. He has experience. He's performed some. He has relationships. He's had some challenges. All of those things are platforms for growth. And aside from those things, man, he loves it. He's a gym rat. He likes to work. He's communicative. He just has all the intangible things that you would expect from a guy at that position, but really at any position to take a step from year 1 to year 2.
Have you noticed a difference just in between the times where you saw him last and you saw him first in this calendar year?
I think we can trick ourselves into saying, boy, Kenny really looks good, Yeah. Boy, he really looks comfortable. I don't know that there's a significant difference. I don't know that we've faced enough challenges or done enough official business for that to be revealed at this point. But we as coaches, man, we can trick ourselves all the time and, lie to ourselves. Well, Kenny's on it this week. We just hadn't been faced with enough challenges for me to really assess that at this juncture.
Well, you also are trying to help him out. Well, let's talk about the draft a little bit. Mike Tomlin here on the Rich Eisen Show. You took the kid from Georgia at tackle. You got Broderick Jones in your camp right now. You jumped the line. Now, when the Steelers jumped the line, did you know the Jets are on the clock at this certain time because they swapped spots with Green Bay, and you might have to go get this kid because the Jets might prevent you from getting him? Was that a thought process, Coach?
Yeah, we were speculating there, and plus, there was a run on the position starting, I think, with Darnell Wright at about 10, where they were coming off pretty clean, and we just had that as a position of priority, and we had Broderick as an individual of priority. And so we knew with the acquisition of Aaron Rodgers and so forth, they might be fishing in those waters. And so we did what we thought we needed to do to get the player and the position that we coveted.
And did you find the one trading partner that you knew would love to let somebody jump the Jets for a prospect the Jets wanted in Belichick, Mike Tomlin? Did you?
I'm not going to delve into the relationship between New England and the Jets. Let's just say I'm glad we found a partner.
Because I'm sitting there on the draft set saying, "Oh, what an interesting trade partner for somebody who just jumped the line for somebody that we all thought the Jets were going to take."
I'll put it this way: there wasn't a lot of hesitation on New England's end.
What do you like about this bulldog? What do you like about him? What do you like?
I like that first of all, he's really talented. The things that you can't coach, the pedigree-related things. He's big, he's powerful, he's athletic. He's got really good body control. He's experienced a lot of success. There's no substitute for success. Individual success, collective success, the national championships he's been a part of. I think all of that's a good platform for building a quality career. And he's done it all at a very short period of time. He's a third-year junior. He just turned 22, I think, 2 days ago. And that's exciting for me. I love young guys. I like to be a part of their growth and development, not only as players but as people. he's just got he's a nice piece of clay, as we like to say. He's got a lot of tools to work with. He's got a nice demeanor. He loves the game. He's an outgoing personality. He's an alpha personality type. All of those things were attractive to us.
I'm sure, and Mike Tomlin here on the Rich Eisen Show, you had a ton of offers. Omar Khan and everybody there had a ton of offers between the last pick of night one and the first pick of night two when you decided to stay put and take Joey Porter Jr. What was your thought process in that whole moment in time, Coach?
We were open to doing business, particularly if someone was interested in doing some drastic business. You know, if someone really wanted that pick. We just didn't get enough action to stimulate us. There was a guy there that we were very familiar with, that we thought was definitely worthy of that pick. We probably would have been comfortable with him much earlier than that. There was a position of need for us, and so it was going to take a significant maneuver by someone to get us off the spot, but we were open. It's just prudent business to be open.
And I can't, I mean, look, I don't think you ever did coach Joey Porter. I think he left just as you were arriving back in the day. But it's kind of wild, right? Joey Porter's kid wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform, Coach?
It's really cool. My son and Joey Jr. are really good friends. They have been since they were middle school age, and so he's been at my house quite a bit over the years. And so it's just a really interesting and cool thing to be able to do business with someone that you got a personal relationship. You know their background, man. You've known them since they were a kid, and you're not compromising any of the things that you value in terms of the business component of it, the need, and all of that. It's just really cool, man. It's something that I think we're all excited to be a part of.
Yeah, it's just giving a different meaning to the term play date, huh?
It's no doubt.
Right now. No doubt. A couple more minutes left with Mike Tomlin. I do want to ask you about Darnell Washington, his health and what you think he can do. Seeing him at the combine, he abused the sleds, abused them in a way that some of the linemen didn't. And we all know what he can do on a route. What do you see for him, Coach?
It's been so fun, the evaluation process, because when I was evaluating Broderick, I was essentially evaluating Darnell at the same time. Mm-hmm. So much of their success, particularly in the run game, was tied to those two guys being shoulder to shoulder and moving people and doing the things that they do. And so it was a 2-for-1. Washington is really talented. He's got an awesome story. I love his appetite for the position. The blocking component of the position. He's a throwback, if you will. He's a guy that really has really good knowledge of self, and he embraces his skill set. He's excited about the blocking component of the game, and I just think it's awesome when you got a guy that values that. His health is really good. We're just going to work with him closely about just the day-to-day management of things in an effort to elongate his career and to stay ahead of it, probably more than anything. But that's an education process that we're taking all the young guys through. It's just part of being a professional, taking care of your body, maintenance in your body, staying ahead of ailments that could slow you down at some point, establishing the type of day-to-day habits that's going to allow him to be consistently available. And so that process is going great. But, boy, I'm really excited about him and his skill set, and his shared relationship with Broderick, I think, is just an added bonus.
Last one for you, Mike Tomlin. This entire conversation, if anybody's wondering whether your passion for the NFL and the Steelers and just coaching men and being part of this community is in any way, shape, or form entering a 17th year not the same, I do want to give you the floor on how you stay fresh as an HC in the NFL like this.
And, Rich, it is so easy, to be quite honest with you. I'm not going to act like it's hard. First, I absolutely love football. I love the challenges that this profession and my job presents. I love working with players and helping them grow individually and collectively. And so the collection of guys changes every year. They're at different stages of their career. Man, I'm excited about working with Cam Hayward in terms of helping him elongate the end of his career. And I'm excited about working with Broderick, laying a foundation to get the start of his career out of the station, if you will. And so when I get out of my car every day, man, the challenges are many, and they're often ever-changing, and I love it all.
Well, I mean, I'm not telling you details out of school. I mean, so many people in your position can also go into a television booth or a studio, Coach, and still be around the league and still have that sense of competition and not the wins and losses and the ups and downs and the pressures and people saying, you haven't done this, you haven't done that. Why don't you? And that option is definitely available to you, Coach. There's no doubt about it.
I absolutely love what you describe as pressure. I like the challenges. I like to compete. I like to be questioned. I like to be up against it. I just got enough knowledge of self that I just know that I need that in my life. Man, if I wasn't working in that way, man, I'd probably drive my wife crazy. And, I just really don't have a strong desire to evaluate my peers in that way, to participate in the game in that way. I respect it and I appreciate it. I think our fans need it. I think it's very helpful to us in terms of bridging the gap between what we do and helping our fans appreciate it. It's just not my area of expertise or desire, man. I like to get my nails a little bit more dirty.
Coach, as I mentioned at the top of the interview, I don't take for granted you calling in the show as much as you have throughout the years, and once again here, truly appreciate it. Love talking to you. Makes me want to run through a wall. I literally would run through a wall right now. It's pretty crazy. It's 8:53.
Hey, stay by your phone, man. I may need you.
Anytime. I'm here. I can. And let me leave you in a better spot. Here's a great way. I don't know if you need this. When you talk to your players about social media, here's a phrase that you might want to borrow. Hover before you hit send. Hover with your thumb. Hover before hitting send. That might be a way to go about it. Hover. Think about it.
Rich,
what do you think?
Rich, I appreciate that. I love it. I won't even cite you, man.
Take it. Take it.
That's that Big Blue education, man. Much respect to Big Blue.
I noticed you didn't draft any of them, but that's okay. That's all right. Not every year. It doesn't have to.
Stay tuned.
Pace yourself. It's all good. Thanks for the call, Coach. Appreciate it.
You know it always, brother. Take care. Right
back at you. That's Mike Tomlin,
Thanks,
everybody.
Coach.
The Pittsburgh Steelers bringing his Mike Tomlin game, as always.
Like I said, you want to bet against him?
Of course not.
Steelers are making the playoffs.
Listen, I hope all Steelers fans just heard that from beginning to end and understand what a treasure, how lucky you are. You're so lucky. You have no idea how lucky you are. I understand 9-8. That's not what you want. He doesn't want it either. So lucky. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.